Massively overrated, the draw. Underrated, Greenkeepers. They why YouTube golf reviews are massively overrated. Hitting 100 balls at the range, overrated. Underrated, free golf shoes. Probably gonna get in trouble for this one. And welcome back to a brand new video. Simon down here, Burford Golf Lab. Overrated versus underrated. Round 2, the finale. As I think I've covered absolutely everything. Got an amazing response to the last video. Biggest video that I've potentially ever done. Likes, comments, the lot. I love going through all the comments, and that's the majority of where I've got all these ideas from. Sharing the knowledge of the underrated stuff in the game of golf, as well as shining a bit of light on what is overrated. The good thing about this is that with golf, everyone's got an opinion. Guys, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe, leave this video a like, and without further ado, let's get into the video. Number 1 is very personal to me, as this is the majority of my channel. The most liked comment on the last video was YouTube golf reviews, where someone basically hits 10 balls and then gives a verdict. And to be perfectly honest, I have to agree. It's too easy to make a good video, or a video that gets loads of views on YouTube, purely by hitting it, filming it, cutting the bad shots, and then going, it feels good, sounds good. I've tried to get away from that kind of format, but I have to completely agree. A good 70% of reviews out there are basically just to get the click rate, and I was definitely guilty in the past of doing it. So I can see why YouTube golf reviews are massively overrated. Underrated, probably the second most lightly commented and liked, was Secondhand Clubs. Now, I didn't put this in my first video, mainly because that's how my whole channel is based, and I thought I'd just be self-promoting myself. But yes, Secondhand Clubs. I still today would say the best driver, value for money out there, is the M2 2017 TaylorMade driver. You can get it for about 140 quid, decent condition, and in terms of technology, lightweight, whatever, it's going to outperform as long as you've got the right shaft and loft for you, or as good as anything out there at the moment. However, number 3 is overrated, driver off the tee. Why do you keep taking driver when you don't necessarily need it? This was a great point, and a lot of people agreed. You don't always need to hit driver. Find something that's going to put you in play, put you in the fairway, play the averages of the game. It's 4-hour round. Play the percentages. Don't just keep hitting OB, getting angry, and everything else. Number 4 on the trend of getting angry, overrated. Just because the tour pros are getting angry with the game, why are you? It's your hobby. You're supposed to be out there to enjoy yourself. Winning 2 quid off the boys isn't going to help feed the wife and kids. You're not going home and going, sorry kids, unfortunately we can't eat tonight, it's beans and rice, purely because Steve chipped in on the last for 38 points. Underrated, free golf shoes. Probably going to get in trouble for this one. There is no test for waterproof shoes. If you take your shoes back within a year, saying they're leaking, you're probably going to get a free pair of shoes. Online lessons, overrated, and wait for it, underrated. They're great in the sense of the content is brilliant and it makes you understand the game better. However, it doesn't diagnose your faults, hence why I still have a job. For beginners, underrated. I prefer a beginner to go and watch online lessons, grip, setup, hit a few balls, get a general understanding, then come to me. Otherwise, the first 5 lessons is basically myself doing that for them. After that, lessons to basically build a swing that's comfortable to you, not necessarily always textbook. Let me know your thoughts. Number 7, underrated, twilight green fees. You can get ridiculous deals, go on whatever website, tee off times, the lot, for 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon, especially in this country. Let me know what it's like in your country, and you can go and play a ridiculous golf course for such little money. It's just worth it. This one was very popular. Hitting 100 balls at the range, overrated. Now again, I go back, if you're a beginning golfer, you need to get that kind of motor program built in. However, once you're playing, you don't want to hit 100 shots out on the golf course, so why are you doing it at the range? 50 balls at most. Try and recreate the scenario that you're out on the golf course. Take a bit of time. 50 balls should still be taking you 50 to an hour to do. Underrated, which again a lot of people suggested, chipping and putting, and I'm going to add in pressure practice as well. As I said, recreate the scenario. There's a lot of reasons why golfers can play great on themselves. However, they go out with a card or they go out with their mates or in a competition and they can't play well. Practice in the situation, the scenario, give yourself forfeits, put a bit of pressure on yourself. That's going to help you perform better when it matters. Underrated, walking the golf course. A lot of people discuss this and I'm sure this is a big discussion point. Personally, I hate using a buggy. I even hate using electric trolley. However, I am 28 and this is my job. So put it there down in the discussion. What do you think? The benefits obviously of walking takes time. You think about your shots, exercise versus a buggy. You can get around in 2.5 hours. What do you think? Overrated, expensive clubs that you don't clean. Like, you're spending all this money on your clubs, and I see this so many times with the members. You spend $2 on your clubs and they've got dirt all over them. Like, all that technology that's giving you the spin and ball to face interaction, and you've literally got half your golf course over them. Clean your clubs, let them do what they're supposed to do. Underrated, greenkeepers. They work ridiculous, stupid hours. I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of greenkeepers over the 5 golf courses over the last 10 years that I've been working at. Some are better than others, however, they've got to do ridiculous hours, stupid o'clock in the morning, just so that you can go and play at 7 o'clock. So, greenkeepers, green staff, whatever you want to call them, massively underrated. Overrated, club members that think they are greenkeepers and feel like they could do a better job. If you feel like you do a better job, get up at 5 in the morning, go and help them yourself. Massively overrated, the draw. Everyone still thinks they need to hit a draw to hit it further. Look at the best players in the world, hardly anyone still hits a draw, bar a few. Play a fade, don't break your swing, just so that you can have the aesthetics of a shot that goes right to left. Underrated, and this is the only equipment realistically that I'm going to talk about, the putt out golf. I don't know if you guys seen this. I bought myself one the other day to help my left-handed series because I can practice at home now. Massively underrated. For £20 or whatever, it gives you something to focus on, not only on a hole size but actually something more specific. And if you're a good putter, you're not aiming for the hole, you're actually aiming for a specific part of the hole. I think it's a brilliant tool. I'm not getting paid to say this, but I highly recommend it. Overrated, alignment sticks. Just use a club, use a garden cane. You don't need to spend 20 quid on 2 thin graphite poles. Underrated, water and bananas. You're playing golf for 4 hours. Why are you fueling yourself with Lucozade and chocolate so you feel great for 30 minutes and then crap basically for the next 3.5 hours? I know it's boring. I know you're curing your hangover first thing in the morning, but yeah, that's going to help you golf. Overrated, listening to your playing partners whilst you're playing golf. Don't change your swing when you're out on the golf course regardless. So even if they are bang on the money in terms of what you're doing wrong, it's not going to help you whilst you're out there. So take maybe what's on board or go and get a lesson, but then your work should be done off the golf course, not on it. All it's going to do is make you more frustrated and give you more things to worry about. The last underrated is YouTube golf channels that I personally watch, and I don't mean that to big them up, but I hate watching golf on YouTube. It's my job, it's what I do in my spare time, it's what I do to create for YouTube. Therefore, when I watch YouTube, I don't really watch golf content. However, I do feel like these 3 channels put the work in more than anyone else. Production, time, effort, imagination that they put into their videos are far better as well for the recognition response that they should get, which is Fried Eggs Golf, which I think is a gem in the community. Again, the levels of imagination, creativity that Randy puts into those videos is incredible. Golf Sidekick, which I think is helping tons of people in terms of breaking down the game, and again, the production, the time, the shot traces, the graphics that he does to make those videos. I know how long it takes, so the fact that he's now starting to get a bit of the recognition is fantastic. I highly recommend, if you're starting the game or learning the game, to watch his stuff. And lastly, I do feel, and I'm not biased because I'm this side of the pond, the European Tour is starting to actually put some really decent content, especially the last year or so. I think the challenges that they do, especially getting to know players, the European players, and how it's not necessarily the stereotype that people think golfers are in terms of like the snobbery and being moody or whatever it is, boring. making it a bit more fun. At the end of the day, that's all we're trying to do, make golf more entertaining, more fun, and then hopefully more approachable. So guys, there is my overrated, underrated. I can't possibly think of anything else, and I've probably milked this topic enough now. But guys, if you want to leave a comment below whether you agree or disagree, or want to leave a new opinion, then please do so down below. Otherwise, my name is Simon, down here at Burford. Catch you guys later.